Okay, hi, this is my official, introductory video. I've been making reels on here for a bit now, but this is my first, full-length video. So, my name is Elio. My username is Angel Poet Speak. I like to write poetry. I also like fashion, and I like drag, and I like film, and reading, and music, and pretty much any aspects of art. This is my poetry book. This is my journal. This is where I write anything and everything I feel. I used to have a big interest in astronomy. I wanted to be an astrophysicist, and I started out by taking chemistry classes at my local community college, and it didn't work out. I lost interest after about three chemistry classes. I took 3 chemistry classes and I quit because I don't want to do science. I don't want that to be my job. I'm interested in astronomy, but I don't want it to be my job. So I switched my major to creative writing, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm starting to lead more towards film. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see where that goes. Here's another page. As you can tell, I kind of just write whatever I think. I'm a very planned out person, so usually I'll take a piece of paper and I'll write all my thoughts, and then I'll go through and I'll say, okay, these go together, and I try to make coherent, thoughts and monologue and text, and just try to get everything organized so that they fit into one thing, and then I'll take the pieces that fit together and I'll kind of arrange it and maybe, work on getting the rhythm right, which is something I struggle with a lot. I don't really get that as much as others do. Sometimes I try to add rhymes, but I just find that wasteful, and I feel like it doesn't really show my true thoughts because I'm trying to force my thoughts into these boundaries to make them sound nicer and to make them come out nicer, and that's just not really what I care about. I don't care about how they read. I care about being truthful, and I care about expressing my thoughts and my feelings in an honest way. Here is a bunch of scrambled ideas for poems. You can see kind of the lines that separate them. So usually these are all just random quotes. So I wish you'd quit letting go. Where are you now? And that did become a poem. I do have a poem that's a continuation of that. So this is kind of just where I write down all my thoughts, and then later on I'll pick a piece up and I'll turn it into something bigger. I'm very interested in learning languages. This is when I was trying to freshen up on my Spanish. It didn't go as well as planned. This is embarrassing as hell. This is a whole page written about my ex. Some of the stuff I don't really want to look at because it's from a time where things were different, and I don't like thinking about all the change that has happened, and I don't like thinking about all the people I no longer know and all of this, so it's a bit hard. Reading love poems about someone who I don't even talk to anymore, it's really rough. This is my laptop. Whenever I'm not writing in my notebook, whether I'm at school or just busy with life, usually I write on here. I post all of my poems on my Tumblr, so I'm going to be reading one to you. This one is called Godly. You pray to me as I pray to him, hearts full and heavy. I was once called an angel, until all the angels fled and I was all that was left behind. Now I feast on the rot left behind and pray for a new body. So, as you can tell, there isn't much structure here. Usually I'll just start out with something very small and plain like that, and I try to build onto it later on when I have time to think and process. Right now, this poem is very raw and very honest and true, and it's pretty much just how I felt, filled with some metaphors, but this is about how I thought I fell in love with someone, but I was looking up to him in an unhealthy way, and there was kind of this like toxic imbalance where I felt like I was like this much less. And then not that much later, I got in a relationship with someone else, and I feel like it was kind of reversed where he felt like he was less than me, and I hated that so much. So you prayed to me as I prayed to him. My my last ex prayed to me the way that I had prayed to the other man. Hearts full and heavy. Kind of like you feel so strongly, you feel like you love this person, even if it's like almost a lie to yourself. It's weighing you down, it's heavy, it's it's harming you. It feels like love, but your heart is full and heavy. I was once called an angel, so this is kind of like the purity that you feel in like the beginning of a relationship. You feel so amazing, and like you feel loved and cared for, and basically all the good things, until all the angels fled, until he left me and I was all that was left. Basically that feeling when you just feel so alone. After that breakup, I was completely alone. I hadn't been talking to any of my friends. I guess I did, but it didn't feel like I was talking to anyone, and it didn't feel like anyone cared for me. And I put everything into this man, and like it kind of felt like I got myself like torn out once he left, which I kind of like realized that like I had left myself long before he broke up with me. So until all the angels fled and I was all that was left. Now I feast on the rot left behind and pray for a new body. This is kind of just like sitting in your own mess and letting everything just tear you apart, and you're feasting on rot. You're finding new people, trying to fill this void, and it never works because that's not how it works. You need to heal. And it's sad, and it's a rough truth to hear, but it's my truth, and you can read about it in my poems. So I have multiple spots where you can read my poems: on my Instagram, on my Tumblr. Sometimes I post it on TikTok and on Instagram Reels. Find them anywhere. I'm hoping to post more soon. I've learned a lot in school this semester, and I'm hoping to rewrite a lot of stuff and write new things. So hopefully I get to that soon. Thank you.